You gonna put me on TV?
No, YouTube.
No. Everybody, this is the miserable bastard. Here he is. He's sober now.
Were you in high school when you lived with the Amish, or was that after that apartment?
Well, after I got out of the Navy is when I really got in close contact with that one friend that I had, the Bittners.
Yeah.
They were from a little town on the outskirts of Allentown, and he had a small farm, but he wasn't doing that much anymore.
Yeah.
And but his wife and him, and he had a daughter, kind of like just took me in like I was their own. You know, I felt like they were my other mother and father. And Floyd and Phyllis Bittner. And I looked up a lot of stuff since I came to Maine to find out, you know, his wife's maiden name and where she was from. Her name was Weiss, W-E-I-S. Another German name. Was had a long time presence in Pennsylvania as farmers. And they're right on, almost right on neck and neck with the Pennsylvania Dutch, the Amish, the real. You know, they have like two sects in Pennsylvania. They call the gay Dutch, and then they have the strict ones with the black hats and the black clothes, and you know, those are the strict, you know, toe the mark.
Yeah.
But the gay Dutch are the ones that paint their barns and have the hex signs like we have out here.
Yeah.
They're the gay Dutch, and he's from that branch. They don't mind dancing, and they don't mind frolicking, as they call it, you know. But they're good people. I like those people. They do anything for you. When I told them I was coming to Maine, Floyd started to cry.
Yeah.
An old man.
At the same time?
Huh?
Were you staying with them when you told them that, or were you already not living with them?
Well, I was. A lot of times I'd stay for the weekend. When I'd get done with my job, he'd say, "Come on over to the house and stay." I think he was trying to line me up with his daughter. He had a beautiful fucking daughter. She was younger than me by about 5 years.
Yeah.
And beautiful, long blonde hair. And if I wanted to learn a song, she'd go on the radio and tape it. And then she'd type it all up for me with a typewriter so I could learn the song. Debbie was her name. And but she had a boyfriend that guarded her like a fucking hawk. You know, he knew she had some fucking googly eyes for me, you know. He wouldn't let her out of his sight.
Wow.
Russell was his name. But if he hadn't have been there, I'd probably be with that girl now. Because she was nice.
The dad didn't like Russell as much, or what do you think?
I don't know. But he didn't stay at the house very often.
Yeah.
But I could stay there overnight and stay for the weekend. And his wife, her parents were from a little northeastern, going up towards the northeastern tip of Pennsylvania. And we go up there on the weekend and he'd say, "Come on, Mike, bring your guitar. We're going up to see Grandma." And I go, and they treat me like royalty, you know.
Wow.
I really liked them.
They live did they live close with each other, like communities, or just by themselves? Were their houses all set alone, or was it all like the other?
But they're more like little farms spread out, you know.
Yeah.
And he, at the time, he wasn't farming anymore. He said, because the country was just getting to the point where they had surplus growing shit, you know. No more corn. Pay him not to grow corn. Pay him not to do this. So he stopped growing stuff. He raised chickens and a little bit of corn for the chickens, the hard corn, and stuff like that. He had a spring that ran right through his stone basement on his old farmhouse.
Wow.
You go down the basement, and there was a little stream there running. Ice cold water. Yeah. But I felt ashamed of myself because when the next time I wanted to go down and see him, he'd already died. I think he died from cancer. I looked what I could find. But what really stuck with me is when I told him I was coming to Maine, and I told him, and I said, I'm only going to go to university, and I'm going to get a degree, and then I'm coming back. And he just shook his head. He said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not coming back. Like he had some kind of, superior information on me, what was going to happen, I said, no, I will. Well, I did, but it was too late. He's gone.
It's too bad. Did you
Yeah.
ever meet any of his other relatives again? His
No,
wife
I
or
didn't.
daughter?
No. But when you meet people like that, you don't forget them. I don't forget you either.
How'd you meet that guy?
I met him in the bar that I used to go to on Friday night after I got out of working at Western Electric. I had worked a swing shift, so I didn't get out till about 10 o'clock at night. So I'd go over to, the bar was in a town called Nutropoli. Real typical, beautiful little country town. Went down to a big hill, and there was an apple orchard up on the left, and a big stream that ran right through the frickin' basement of that place. And it was called the Kernsville Hotel. And the bartender had a Martin guitar. At the time, I didn't even know what a Martin guitar was. And I had an old beat-up 12-string guitar. But I'd play country songs, and it was a big horseshoe bar. Real country. It had a big shuffleboard on the side, and those country folks would bring their whole kids and all.
Yeah.
On Friday night, they'd get something to eat. The kids would get something to eat, and they'd play shuffleboard, and Mom and Dad would be sucking down draft beer. I don't think he did have some whiskey there, not much. But he had usually like a couple, what you'd call like supper time special, nothing elaborate.
Yeah.
But you could get a plate, and it would be on a paper plate, and he just put it on the bar there so you could eat. But he also had ring bologna and cheese platters and on a plate, with a big plotch of mustard, home German-style mustard. And I'd get all those things because I'd be getting out of work and I hadn't had no supper. And I'd pig out on this ring bologna. Oh my God! And that mustard and big chunks of cheese, sharp cheese. But anyway, that bar would fill up with people. I mean, right all the way around would be full of people drinking. Nobody getting rowdy. They were all country people. There was nobody in there rowdy. And one day I was sitting there playing that 12-string, and Roy was the guy that owned the bar. He came over to me and he goes, "Hey, Mike," because he played that Martin D28 he had. And he had a pretty good voice, and he sounded good. And Roy come over and he said, "Mike, give me that. Take this. Put that up there and play something on that guitar." Well, I held that D28 up to my chest, strummed a chord. I thought, wow. It felt like it went through my body. Right through, just Holy Jesus, no wonder people like these things, you know. And he said, that's the kind of guitar you want to get.
Yeah.
He said, you'll sound 100% better with that kind of guitar than that piece of shit you got there. Get rid of that. He said, those are only good for folk songs and shit. He said, they're not good for country. And so I thought, well, someday I'll own one of them Martin guitars. And I didn't have one till I came here to Maine. And that's when it got broke into the house and they stole it. Yeah. Actually it broke in our bedroom window, chinnied up. Here I was doing God's work. I was doing a humanitarian thing to help a poor shut-in woman lived out in Levant that was a friend that her neighbor across the road was a guy in the guards with me, and he said, the poor little old widow, he says, she really plays the piano and she doesn't have one, and she saw one up in Old Town, and he didn't have a truck, and I had an old beat-up Chevrolet 67 or something. It was fucking ready to, the frame was ready to crack in half, you know. He said, you and I go up and get it and bring it down, would you do that? I said, sure, I'll do it. And that was like 5 years, no, maybe 6 years old. Probably more like 5. I took her with me because Mom was working part-time, I think in a store there on Union Street. And I took her with me, and when we came back, we got the piano, got it in the poor old woman's trailer. It was a trailer. That was a fucking task. Luckily, she had a ramp because she was a cripple. We got that piano in there, and I came home. And when I pulled in this driveway, I looked, and the storm door over here. At the time, the porch wasn't there. It was just a little porch. It was propped open. And the fucking bugs were flying in and out. The lights were all on. All the lights were on. I thought, whoa, this isn't good. So I told Nanette, lock the doors, stay in the truck. Do not get out. And I went in by myself. I came in, it was dead silent. I thought, it could still be in here, you know, I'm unarmed. But slowly I went around. There was nobody in there. When I got around the back, I saw them windows in the back bedroom there all wide open. First thing I did was open that closet in that bedroom where my guitar was. Gone. Then I looked around, my stereo stuff that I bought while I was in the Navy. Good stuff, Pioneer, Akai, tape recorder, reel-to-reel. Everything I had that I had bought, stereo sound equipment, a turntable was worth about $300. All gone, nothing. The only thing they left was the speakers. The speakers were big floor model. Matter of fact, that's the ones that are down there in the basement. You've seen them. Those are made from a kit. And my father put them together. I had them sent home. He assembled them for me and got them all ready, but I hadn't seen them till I got out of the Navy. They left those because they were heavy. But everything else, they fucking went through this house. They found my hunting knife. I had a pistol and a rifle, a .22, and a .32 pistol. They got that. They cleaned house. Never got anything back. That Martin was gone. I have, if I could get down to Pennsylvania before I croak, go into the Martin Guitar Factory, is only 4 miles from Allentown.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't even know that at the time. And they're still in business.
Mm.
They're considered the primo
Yeah.
of acoustic guitars. And I could go in there and ask them if I'm sure they have my registration, because you had to register a guitar like that. I think I paid $600 for it at Viner Music, which is out of business a long time. And I had to keep paying on it until the insurance company agreed to pay what I owed, but it took a long time, and I had to fight with them. I had to go down to the music store and get a statement saying these guitars, those kinds of instruments, do not depreciate.
Right.
They only hold their value and get greater. And they signed something for me to take and send to the insurance company, so I got what I owed on the guitar.
Yeah.
But never saw it again. But I figured the serial numbers, I had to send in the registration to the guitar people, to Martin. So if I was able to get down there again, I could ask them if they would search through their records and see if they ever got a claim for repair or anything for that guitar. Because if they did, I might be able to find out who got it.
Yeah.
Or if they sold it, or
They might have bought it from somebody, but
yeah,
might
that
be
could
able
be,
to
yeah.
connect the dots at
It
least.
might start the path, though.
Yeah. Find some other old bastard out there that was a shithead.
Yeah. I was listening to a video once on the computer about a. Go ahead, go peek. I was listening to a video about a guy that had a banjo, a real good expensive one.
Mm-hmm.
And he was